happy reunion story for you to witness and for us to share. I know most of you likely learned about Dave and I, either whether it was on the website or in the newsletter or in the table piece in the middle. And I hope I don't repeat too much what's already been said or what you already read. When I was 9, my brother, my mom, and I moved to a new city and state after the divorce of my parents, and I didn't have a good fatherly figure, a good male influence in my life. This was a particularly rough time for me. My dad was frustrated from the divorce, and my mom moving us a state away. He was putting me and my brother in the middle of that frustration and that divorce. What I was getting from the man I was supposed to look up to was not the role model that I needed. I knew that, and so did my mom. So my mom signed me up. I got matched, and well, with my new big brother, after a few visits, it really wasn't for him, and things didn't work out. These things happen, I know, and I was frustrated by this. Dave Powell is actually my second big brother. Dave was the perfect fit for my life. This is where Dave's willingness was that perfect fit. He wanted to spend time with me and let me be the sponge of learning and sharing, exploring with me. Where there was conflict with my dad and disappointment, Dave brought me eagerness and a new exploration of joy-filled activities. I think back now to what Dave gave me as a young child. He allowed me to be myself. He introduced me to good music, culture, excitement. We did normal things that bigs and littles do. And together, sure, that was fine. One of my fondest memories is dancing in his bedroom to Michael Jackson, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. I don't think I ever got enough of that. I think we probably wore the LP or track or whatever it was back in the day. We wore that sucker out. He showed interest in what my interests were, and the best thing about it was, at the same time, exposed me to what he was interested in. His passion for planes, trains, and automobiles, I'm not talking about the movie with John Candy and Steve Martin, were just what this young boy needed. The most important part I remember from Dave were our conversations. He really took time to engage and ask me questions. He really listened. I remember so clearly the memories of the things we did together. To this day, I remember Dave as a loving, caring, and very thoughtful person. It's one of the reasons I wanted to reach out and find him after 20 plus years of last talking to him. Because I really cared about him too, and wanted to know how his life was going, and I felt I needed to try and pay him back for all those fond memories he gave me as a young child. Of all the things Dave could have been doing, and just started his new career, he was showing up for me, teaching me how to snow ski, sail a boat, taking me for a test drive. It was right around Smokey and the Bandit. I show up one day and I tell him I just love this Trans Am. One day we show up at the Pontiac dealership. And he just bought a brand new car. The sales guy knew something was wrong because he pulls up in a brand new Cutlass. And there is a black Trans Am with the Big Eagle, 6.6 liter, 400 cubic inch. I was in heaven. What I remember most was sitting on the hood of that said new car that he had outside of this little regional airport. And he let me lay on the hood, and we would sit there as a plane would come over. And it was every 30, 45 minutes, and we were there for hours. And a plane would come over and come right over our head, land, and then we would just talk. And then, 30, 45 minutes later, another plane would land. And I just remember it was getting real dusk. And Dave's like, okay, Eric, your mom's going to get really mad if you don't come home real soon, or I'm going to be in big trouble. But we did a lot in a very short period of time. And who could possibly forget when I turned 13 years old, we showed up to that airport, and I thought we were going to go for a plane ride, but he sent me on a hot air balloon ride. And it was just, I was blown away. I was so excited. That was great, yes, but what I found so meaningful, that he was just a great guy who wanted to share things with me of all the people. But I got to tell you, throughout all those years afterwards, he kept in contact, would send Christmas cards, and every Christmas since then, over the last 20-some years with my mom, I would just sit there and say, where's Dave? I wonder how Dave's doing. Just I wonder if he's happy. Dave has always known how to live life in the fullest and his passion of what he did. And I value that so much now. And I realize that I'm very blessed to have been exposed to that. And witness his passion in life. And has helped me be that kind, gentle giant that I am today. Dave got promoted, moved away to another state. We did correspond for a while through those Christmas cards. I tracked him down once. I'm a computer guy, so when the internet came on, I was like, this is going to be my chance. And I found him. I got a phone number in South Bend, Indiana. I called him in the mid-90s. We had a great conversation. And I think he saw me maybe once in high school when he was in Indianapolis. And then I lost touch with him again. I tried to find him. I've been through so much of my life and was in a great place. And I wanted to share it with him. But where's Dave? I had to find Dave. Where are you? Dave, where are you? Where are you, Dave?
Me after all this time. I cannot believe it. It's not like I wasn't looking for you too. I go on the internet, Eric Snyder, IT, Connecticut, wrote emails, one came back, not me. It's like, okay. You know, it really, really means so much after all this time and decades that you would want to reconnect with me back again. It's very powerful. But I too, as was mentioned before, got a lot out of having you. Oh my gosh, there's just not enough time. But you were just a joy to be with. I wanted to feel the responsibility of having somebody like you to guide, to nurture, to be with, to share with, to share my life with, and whatever I could offer. I had to be a good influence for you. I always wanted to be my best in front of you. It was so much fun teaching you about the railroad. I took you to my office, to the control tower. I can't believe you had that picture after all that time.
That's right there in that picture. I found that picture actually. That's how we got reunited, was there were so many Dave Powells out there, and I would Google and not find it. And I'm going through, and I moved down to Scottsdale. I'm going through all my baseball cards, maybe looking for that Pete Rose card or some, card that would be worth something. And there is that picture with Dave's business card that had his middle initial. Googled him, got on LinkedIn, and within minutes we were talking, and that's how I found him.
It was so much fun anticipating what I was going to do with you next, planning it, getting excited about it. There were some surprises there. But the simple walks, the talks, the bike rides, yes, we did some exciting things too, but just the connecting, just the simple joy of being together and sharing and talking and just showing up for somebody apparently had an impact. And I don't know, I took Eric out of school one day because I knew I would have a day off from the railroad, and we drove a long distance to go skiing because he'd been twisting hard. I want to go skiing, I want to go skiing. He's like, okay, so we did, and it didn't start out very well. He kept falling down, and finally got the bunny slope and fell down. I hate this, I want to go home. Nope, we're going to be here all day. So after a while, I was like, well, I got this, so I'm going to go up on the big up there. You just learned. Well, we don't be here all day, so we did fearlessly, right over the edge, right down. I love this. It was really one of the best days of my life. So his face when he got skiing was just tremendous. And how could I forget taking him to that airport? And yeah, he thought it was a plane ride, and he just went nuts, just absolutely nuts. So do you remember what I put you up to in the basket? We were kind of low. These guys were playing basketball down below.
Go right over a house, and he's like, yell down to him, are we in Kansas yet?
This is Missouri.
It was great.
He was pretty, it wasn't perfect, but it was very close to it. The part about, I think it's time for you to go home now, that didn't go over. But I think it's just absolutely awesome that we both wanted to reconnect with one another, and we're both showing up here today.
That's really great to know. I thought this was all about me, Dave.
But what are we doing right now?
Well, I was giving a speech for Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Oh, okay. You know, when we got together in January here, again, after all that time, I never thought, well, did your mom pay anything for Big Brother?
No.
I didn't pay anything for Big Brother. But there was an office, there were people, there were staff. They were just there. And they were there for us when we reunited here in Arizona again.
Dave,
Yes, sir.
if Big Brothers Big Sisters wasn't there for us in 1980, would we have ever met?
We wouldn't have met for the first time.
Thank you, Big Brothers. Thank you for being here for us.
Thank you, Denise.
Thank you.